COVID-19 has hit the African-American community especially hard, and for one well-known figure in Milwaukee, it's been especially difficult. Fox 6's Mary Stoker Smith is here to tell us about his experience with the virus.
Judge Derek Mosley is known in practically all corners of Milwaukee. He's known really throughout the community, from formally officiating weddings to informally giving the dish about the best places to dine out. In fact, he is just getting back to eating solid food. You see, for a while he was eating nothing but Jell-O during a lengthy stay in the hospital where he battled for his life.
Heading towards the neighbors.
We're used to seeing Judge Derek Mosley on the bench.
This is the farthest I've been outside since I got home.
But these days, he's on the sidelines, and frankly, he's lucky to be there.
Terrifying. It was terrifying.
But a few weeks ago, he started to slow down.
A lot of congestion in my chest, and I had a cough.
In fact, everything seemed off, even his balance.
That was the one that got me, being dizzy to the point where I couldn't stand up straight.
He called his doctor, who said he should go in and get tested for COVID-19.
He said, "You came back positive, so I need you to get to the emergency room right away."
Suddenly, things went from slow to frantic.
I went from the emergency room to ICU in a matter of a half hour.
As hard as he tried, he could barely breathe.
I would start taking deep breaths and anything I could to try to get that oxygen level up.
His doctor walked in his hospital room with grim news.
He said that, you're at this weird stage where we've seen COVID patients get better, and then they eventually go home, and then you're at that stage where sometimes they just drop off. I just fell to this deep, dark place where I was just like, this is bad.
He spent 8 days in the ICU, lying on his stomach in the dark. No visitors allowed, little movement, and little hope he'd get better.
Laying in the bed, crying, just, thinking to yourself, did I live a good life? Did I prepare my kids, for a future without me? I kept thinking to myself, I don't want to die alone. And it looks like this is how it's going to be.
Then came a knock.
The door opens and I hear someone say, "Hey, someone's here to talk to you." It was my nurse, Kristen, who came in, and she had an iPad, and on the iPad was my wife, my 2 daughters, even the dog. I was happy I had a chance to see them and say goodbye just in case this was it.
I remember when we had said goodbye to his family on the iPad that the next phone call might be me giving them a very different message. When I put my stethoscope on his chest, along with those other clinical indicators, I could barely hear air moving at all.
I hear a chair slide up next to the bed, and I'm trying to look, and then I see Kristen peeks sideways so I could see her face, and she sits down and grabs my hand.
I didn't think about it, but at the same time it went, oh, I hope he doesn't mind, but I'm going in for it.
And says, "We're gonna get through this together. I'm here for you, you are not alone." And we both just lost it.
I think we sense that about each other as humans when someone needs a hug or it's time to grab a hand.
That helping hand may have been stronger than any medicine Kristen could provide. By the time she started her next shift, she looked in his room.
Is Mr. Mosley in bed 19 still here?
No, he wasn't. He moved out of the ICU. A great sign. Judge Mosley was on the road to recovery.
Best way to start a shift ever.
The coronavirus may have gotten the best of us for now, but this proves caring and kindness can help us heal through it all.
We need human touch and we need human connection, and people are embracing that now.
Well, several years ago, Judge Mosley underwent a kidney transplant, so his immune system had to really fight to pull him through this. He says he has no idea how he got the coronavirus. I said, well, do you feel like you're out of the woods? You feeling all right? And he said, until there's a vaccine, not really.
Mary, I got chills about this story. I mean, it just shows you the good in our community and the good that nurses are doing. Wow.
Yeah, and he encourages everybody to wear their mask, if not for themselves, for people like him. He's like, you do not want to get this. So
well, I'm glad he's on the mend. He has done so much good in our community.
Yes.
Mary, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, you might want to